Okay, welcome, and here we go with episode 4 of building this 1/2 scale Terminator. So I've got another nice metally bit with this issue, which is going to be the other part of the upper arm, and those have both got a nice weight to them. I like it when it's got some actual metally bits in there, you know. And I think that could be another metally bit, so I like that bit. Whole bunch of little screws in there, and some more pistony parts. In fact, let's just blob like that. Yeah, so I've got a couple of little like washers or something on the hinge parts for a piston. That one I think is the back of the arm, because I've built a CGI version of the Terminator that I have in Blender. So some of these parts I actually recognize from the absolute mess load of hours and hours it took me to do about 1 billion cylinders for pistons. So yeah, this good. Although this building it in this 1/2 scale is going to take ages, it's not going to take the same amount of time as the CG one that I had to build from scratch, because the one I had to build that I built in CG, it's taken about 10 years of work and I'm still not done on it. Finished the actual modelling part, but the sculpty type, the moulding, oh god, get your words out, go on, move your mouth and make the words. So the CG one takes ages and ages and ages to get all the parts built, and then it takes just as long to go through adding textures. The textures are the parts where you're adding the metallic finish to it, so that it don't look just grey, like the when you see the dummies in shop windows. So yeah, so long as this 1/2 scale doesn't take 10 years, it's still faster than the last Terminator I built. So I've now put all the parts right on top of the instructions. Clever boy, Dan. So let's have a look in the instructions. So yeah, it's all upper part arms, and from the looks of it, this piston's the front one. Or maybe this piston, I don't know, one of these is the front one and one of them's the back one. I'd say that's the front one, this is the back one. Because the front one's sort of short, this main part is shorter than the one on back. Right, so let's get to this. So let's get the piston parts laid out. I'll put that back in tub for a second. So that down there. And yeah, it's a screw the same as the other one. Oh, where's my screwdriver? Get my screwdriver down the hole. Like, I don't think that screwdriver is gonna push that right up to the top edge. And that one's probably not gonna do it. Let's try this one. Right, so absolutely none of the screwdrivers that come in this little pack that they sent are going to fit down that hole. So that can go. Have a slurp of my brew. And let's try again with this one. Yeah, that's getting it. Right, that seems to have done the trick quite nicely. So next up we got one of these that's meant to go onto one of them. Right, and it's saying that they put four, oh god. So in part at the start of this, at the start of this booklet, where it says it lists the parts and numbers them, it says 4-7 for both of these. But then when you flip them over, they look slightly different to me. Oh well. Right, so plop that on. And doing wrong one first. Right, plonk that on to top of there. Get one of the itty bitty screws. Oh, come on. Oh man, this is going to drive me crackers. Get in there. That's the ticket. Perfect. And then oh man, we're having a giraffe come out. Fasten it on and it pulls off. Oh my god, that's a pain in the bum. Okay, so there we've got piston number 1. Piston number 2. Oh, and then there's the instructions for piston number 2. I'm gonna take, oh crap, don't want to be knocking all the bits about. This bit, and hook them onto there. Like so. And next up we go with this bit, which we're going to be attaching the back piston first, from the looks of it. I've got 2 different lengths, so let's have a quick check back. Yeah, this is the best organised you'll ever see me. So, longer ones are 4-12, shorter ones are 4-11. Remember that. Or as Fox would say, write that down. So longer ones first. Let's get the longer ones out. Getting bloody old. Right, I'm gonna be better off with it this way up for a minute. I'm probably going to need to grow a 3rd arm from the looks of things. Hang on, I'm trying to put 3 in. Where's it gone? Hold my eyes down. Yeah, I like shorter ones for the front, obviously. So, what the bloody hell? Looks like there's a ding in this, which is kind of handy because that's going to prevent that screw from dropping out. Whilst I go like that, and then like that, and then get this part and of course I've just missed putting a piece in place. Don't need that in, don't I? Oh my god, I'm going to need 47 extra arms for this. So, right. Of course, these cushions want to fall off. Slot that onto there. Man, oh man. Right, push them into there. Come on. Take that out for a minute. Squeeze it tight. I'm completely disorientated now as to what's up, what's down. I have no idea. No. and presto. I think that should be that way around. Oh, really tight fit. Let's see if I can. That's better. Right, so those two at top, I've just managed to tighten them up with this. So this one is the most awesome screwdriver in existence. Oh yeah. And then this at top, this rotation joint that I don't want to force whilst there's no in there, because I can feel this flexing. That's really stiff now against those cushions, which is good because that'll make it last for a long while. There is some jiggly going on in there. That's should probably have a washer in there, because I know for a fact that the design of this element, these aren't going to need to wiggle like that, because the next you have a rotation joint here at the, so you know, you got your, if you imagine this is the shoulder, so that makes it so he can put his arm out and in, and then you got a rotation joint here so that he can arm forwards and swing his arm forwards and backwards. You then got another rotation joint here so that it can swivel there, and then when you get down here you've got rotation of the elbow so as it can, you know, bend it like that. Its forearm comes up like that, and then just after this you have another rotation one, the same as this one, that makes it so they can do that with, if I've got it all in thing, can't even see me on screen now. So you got this joint is so they can go like that, and then just after it there's another rotation the same as this that makes it so they can do that, and I would imagine there'll be another rotation joint here so that his hand can be rotated as well. So you got one at either end of thing, which is pretty much what you have with in fact, if you give me one sec, I'll go and grab the other T-800 I've got. Okay, so this one's a T-800 endoskeleton that I got ages ago. It's just plastic, but it does mean that we can look closer at the joints that we're going to be getting, which, unless they've redesigned the Terminator so that it don't look like the Terminator anymore, then the joints are going to be the same. Maybe a few extra ones, but they'll still be the same. So you got rotation joint before the shoulder that makes it so they can lift his arm up and swing it back. The one so that, and these are really stiff, because so another one so they can move his arm in and out like that. Then we have the rotation joint that we've just been working on that makes it so they can like that. And then these two pistons basically, if I show you on other arm, because I don't, it's a pain in the arse to get that gun out of his hand. So we've got a hinge joint for the elbow, like so, and then below that we've got another rotation joint here, and then the bottom half of these pistons connect into the part that's the middle bit for the, so the bit that would go in through that gap connects to these two pistons, so that as you rotate his arm that way, this one gets pulled down, and as you rotate it that way, this one gets pushed up and this one gets pulled down. So there's no real need for them to be jiggly jiggly like that. So at some point I may go back in there and add in some kind of washer for the arm, but then again I might not, because I already know just how stiff this shoulder joint is, and if it's stiffened up even further it can make it even harder to get his forearm to bend into place, which is good for once you've found your pose, but over the long haul, as they put in plastic parts in there, the plastic parts become brittle and eventually you end up with, like I've had here, where you've got this piston that's meant to control the rotation, control his neck. It's got old and snapped because there's too much pressure in there for it to last. So as the plastics got old and become brittle, I come to do the turning of the head, which is meant to, this is meant to slightly flex, but once it becomes brittle, it's dead. This one has, you know, the, hi, how you doing? I rather like it here. And then you got the light up eyes, which, you know, look pretty cool. And then it just switches itself off after a bit. But I had to go back through this one. I've probably got overexposure on light, but you know, I had to go back through this. Once I'd got this one, it had, you know, like you'd expect from a plastic toy, where it's, you know, they've given it a basic spray, and this entire head, when you put the LEDs on, you know, you had the light bleeding through his forehead and stuff. So I'd basically gone back into it and given it a coat of black primer. Or I've done a bit of a crap job of painting this, because it were I'd just put black over top of the paint that came with it, because I couldn't be bothered with taking apart all head to get all electrics out way, so I just basically sprayed over top of what were already there, and then used it. I have a marker pen that has basically white paint in it to recolour teeth white instead of this same silver, and then at some point I've got the red Gundam marker that had just gone over the red part of eyes, so that whether lights are on or off, the red of the eyes still shows up. But yeah, from this, plus the Terminator that I've built, the CG one I've built, I already have a pretty good idea of when you get stuff like this, should I put a washer in there, shouldn't I? Well, that's going to be rattling around in there, so I'm very much tempted to stick a washer in there. It just depends on whether or not there's more plastic parts in this joint, because last thing I need is for, once I've built it, wait 5 years and then the whole forearm snaps off, because it's not as though you can, you know, get it under warranty and get a free replacement. So anyways, I'll put this guy to one side away, and I think I'm pretty much on to, let's get some of these screws tidied up. And I think I'm pretty much done for the build on this issue, and then rest of magazines, just some fun facts about the Alien movie, all of which could be found on Wikipedia or 1,000 different places, and then the Turing test, which, you know, bit of something extra to read in thing, but not very necessary. So I think these are probably all going to be extra screws, so drop them into my Terminator tub. Tidy up some of this stuff. Let's have a look at next issue. Next issue, we've got base of the skull and a couple of, what are they? Start assembling the T-800's lower jaw. That's base of the skull. Those two bits are basically back here, where these two cylinders, one of which is broken on this, connect at base at skull, and so I guess those are going to go somehow into there. So we've got like the base of the skull is next. So yeah, I'll call it a day for this episode, and see you in the next one. Bye for now.